Post-workout muscle soreness, also known as DOMS, delayed onset muscle soreness. It's a feeling that most of us don't like, and I would go as far as to say that loads of us do our best to avoid it even when working out. But to the very few who actually like that sensation, yes, you, please share with the rest of us, where is the pleasure in muscle soreness? Anyway, muscle soreness is caused by us damaging our muscle tissues when we work out, and our body responds by triggering inflammation. This inflammation brings in excess fluid. The fluid leads us to having that pumped, tight, stiff sensation, and eventually the pressure builds up, causing us to have the muscle pain. Now, everybody's different. You may experience muscle pain 12 hours after your workout, and some of you may experience it 48 hours later. The same applies to the recovery process. So, what can we do to fight muscle soreness, and how can we speed up the recovery process? I'm going to give you 5 quick tips that you can implement that will help you with muscle recovery. But first, let's do today's journal entry. Today's journal entry prompt is the opposite of yesterday's. My least favorite city in the world is now. You don't have to enter this one into the comment section. I don't want you guys arguing or fighting about whose city is better and whose is worse. But if you want my answer, it's the same as yesterday's. London. London is my favorite city in the world when it comes to summer, but the rest of the year round, it's my least favorite. It just happens to be that way. If you're a Londoner, you're probably thinking the same as me. Anyway, back to the 5 things that you can do to speed up your muscle recovery process after soreness. Actually, I'm curious, what is your least favorite city in the world and why? Please let us know in the comment box below, because this might actually help some of us. Tip number 1, drink more water. Now look, it's a basic tip, we've all heard it before, but most of us don't take it seriously enough. Water makes up over 75% of our muscles. In addition, it carries oxygen and nutrients to our cells, which also feed the muscle and aid in fat burn. And most importantly, it's essential for our metabolic functions as well as our healing process. Now, why is it tip number 1? It's tip number 1 because most of us experience dehydration on a day-to-day basis. When we talk, we lose water. When we work out, we sweat, we lose water. When we eat, breathe, sleep, we lose water. So please take this tip very seriously. In fact, pause the video, go grab a glass of water, and then come back for point number 2. Tip number 2, increase your protein intake. Now, before we talk about protein from powders, let's talk about what happens when we work out. Exercise triggers the breakdown of our muscle proteins. Now, the rate at which these proteins are broken down is determined by your type of exercise, its intensity, and your level of training. But either way, it is important to consume protein after your workout, as this gives you the amino acids that you need to repair and rebuild the damaged tissue. In addition, protein is essential for building new muscle. Now, does it have to come from powder? The answer is no. If you're able on a day-to-day basis to consume enough protein from your diet, then you do not need to supplement with protein powder. However, the sad reality is not all of us can do that, and protein powders certainly help, especially with isolating the protein away from other macronutrients and digestion times. Now, what type of protein powder should you go for? I'll probably try and make a video on this at another time, as there are several different types of protein powder, but their main differences are going to be time releases, so the time it takes for you to digest, as well as where the sources of protein are from. Anyway, if you want protein, the ones we use are from Women's Best. We have Fit Whey, Iso Whey, and casein protein. Time for tip number 3. Tip number 3, eat carbohydrates post-workout. Why? Because our muscle's main fuel source is glycogen. Glycogen comes from glucose, and the glucose comes from the carbohydrates we eat. Now, just a quick side note, if we don't eat carbohydrates, those of you that are on a very low carb diet, our body will still make glycogen by breaking down proteins and fats through a process called gluconeogenesis. Back to the point, consuming carbohydrates post-workout will speed up you replacing the glycogen in your muscles, because low glycogen can lead to us feeling very tired and most definitely impair our ability to heal. Studies have also shown that you should consume carbs and protein together, as this better stimulates insulin secretion, which will maximize muscle protein synthesis as well as replacing the glycogen quicker. Time for point number 4. By the way, that was a mouthful. Tip number 4, get yourself to sleep earlier and longer. You see, sleep is where the magic happens. Most of our muscle growth and recovery happen when we're sleeping. We make most of our human growth hormone when we're sleeping, and human growth hormone is essential for cell reproduction, cellular regeneration, tissue repair, and muscle growth. We also metabolize cortisol, known as the stress hormone, which, when we overproduce, is responsible for storing fat around the stomach area. And sleep helps with insulin sensitivity. Now, insulin is responsible for regulating our blood sugar levels, but it's also responsible for fat storage and the ability to break down fat. So if we're not sensitive to insulin, we're not going to break down that fat as well as we should, and therefore we will end up storing more fat. So sleep, several benefits, take advantage of it. Put your phone down at least an hour earlier before bed, and if you've had an intense workout, try to sleep an hour or two longer. Why? Because Mr. Muscle said so. Tip number 5, and the last tip of the episode, is massage. Now, if you can't go out and get a massage, you can invest in a foam roller or a massage gun, as these will still help. But either way, a massage is going to assist in reducing your muscle swelling, it's going to increase your muscle temperature, helping you to relax, and it's going to improve your blood circulation, helping you speed up the recovery process from muscle soreness. Now, a quick warning, if you are extremely sore, don't go and book yourself a massage, especially a deep tissue massage, as this can make things worse. But a gentle massage should help. Anyway, there you have it, my top 5 tips to help you speed up muscle recovery if you're suffering with muscle soreness. Now, before I end this episode, I want to say a massive thank you to everyone that commented on yesterday's vlog with ideas and places to visit in the United States. Obviously, if it's safe to travel, Viv and I will be going there. And who knows, we may bump into one of you and we can do some burpees together. Anyway, give this video a like, subscribe, switch on notifications, and I will see you again for the next episode.